In this video I'm going to show you how I made these stone set Huggie earrings. Onto the stake, nice and tight, and wrap it around twice. And now I'll just flatten it, and I'll just work at the very edge of my flat stake so that I don't whack my fingers, and keep turning the ring. So I'm using 2mm stones, so the width I'm looking for is 2.5mm, so I'm just a fraction under, so after clean up that should be fine. This way I'm just going to set my dividers to just over the 2mm size of the stone, and I mark from the hinge end, and now I'll firm those markings up with my saw blade. Just with a small ball burr, put a little divot right in the middle of the square. About 3/4 of the way inside the setting. So you can imagine how tricky this would be if we were trying to do this on just half the ring. And now cut across the hole, and just cut around about 1mm down. And cut across the settings going long ways as well. This is a cross-cut tapered burr, and this is a 1.2mm, so a 1 or a 1.2mm will be fine for this. Left exposed, ready to use later on. This burr is called a bud burr, and this will just give these sides a nicer shape and also a nicer finish. And that will take the side cut down so it looks a lot more attractive, as well as making the claws ready to split. And as you use it, it kind of molds the edge into the shape that you're working on, so just be careful when you first start. If it is sharp, it will dig in, so you and the other side I've already prepared where the hinge is going to be created. There's a bit of a gap there, so cut it off. As I get closer to the right size and shape, I just switch over to a needle file, again with the safety edge. That edge there. profile the top of the internal hinge. Round it off. So what you need to do is just keep trying opening the hinge before you actually work on the pin, and just make sure that this part here doesn't pull apart too much like it is there, which means that I've got to cut out inside the hinge here with the round burr where I've just marked it there, which means it's really easy to find the centre of that. So bang, right there is where I'm going to drill it, nice and straight as I go through. Just lubricate the drill. So at this point I can make sure that I'm dead square to the hinge, and very carefully go through again. And let's see how it operates. Oh, that's beautiful. So very happy with that. I'll do the other one, and then we'll prepare some wire to make the pin. Okay, now I'm going to solder the pin or the stem in place, and that's going to go onto the setting side. So I'm going to drill a little hole to hold it in place. I'll just put a little divot right in the middle of the end here, and I'll just use the drill that I used earlier. Just be careful the drill doesn't get stuck in there. Now I'll open it up with the larger drill. Now using a 1.2mm ball burr, and what I need to do is open up inside the hole, but just inside the top lip here. So I'll be putting downward pressure on the burr once the burr is right inside. So there's working. So be careful you don't tap the setting. So that'll be the catching point. I won't go too deep yet, just in case I need to move it much. So now just a little bit more digging. Now just use the side of the earring just to see where it's landing as it goes into that point, and see it's gone quite far into the body of the earring, so I'll just keep burring. But it needs to be opened up so that it does fit that area. Oh, you just heard a click then, so that's pretty good. So depending on how your setting is looking, you might need to do a little bit more clearance along the channel. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. I'll just finish this. So this is a 1mm ball burr. I'm just going along the inside channel, just making sure that's cleaned out. I'm just burying the burr as far as, when you turn it sideways, as far as the teeth on the burr are in. So you can see the shaft of the burr there is level with the top of the setting. So that tells me that's the depth that I want. So I'm just going to, first one, make sure everything is the right size and it goes in without any issues, and then I know I can just go right through the setting with that burr. It's just not level at the minute. There we go, so that's level. Turn it around, make sure it's level, and the top of the stone is pretty much in line with the top of the setting. So now I can push the claws on so that it doesn't come out of the setting using a beading tool. So they just need a little bit of a push. These claws are quite fine, so it'll just fold onto the crown of the stone quite easily. So a little bit of a push like so. And as I said earlier, it's a good guide to give you the consistent depth as well. If you just turn the setting over and just make sure that the burr's in at the same level, you knead quite efficiently. And you'll find this type of setting is used a lot for wedding rings and for shoulder decoration on engagement rings as well. Very popular style of setting. Alrighty, so all the set work's done. I can finish off the earrings now, and the other difference with the earrings to rings is that you don't have to be too pedantic about the finish of the beads, so you can just go over and round them off and make them all look pretty. So to do the perfect rivet, we need to just create a little countersink on each side for the rivet to spread into the rivet pin, and I'm just using the same heart burr that I used earlier. So I'll give you two options for your riveting, and this is a standard riveting hammer, very small face on it, and ideal for doing fine work like this. So tap on both sides, bit by bit, and just keep checking that the hinge is still moving freely. So the metal on the pin has spread into the countersinking that we did earlier, and because we opened up this part of the hinge, the centre part of the hinge, a little bit more, it was quite free running, then there's less chance of it stiffening up. So that is the point of making it a little bit looser on the middle section of the hinge. So I'll just sandpaper the tool marks off the earrings, and I'll put it in the tumbler for a while. That will get right inside all these little loops here, and give it a nice polish, and job done. This abrasive wheel that I'm using now is called a Shofu Greenie, and this is okay to use on top of the setting. It won't scratch any stone. And there we have it, stone set Huggie earrings, working perfectly well, looking bright and cheerful. It could be argued that these can be bought off the shelf, but they're never as good as handmade. Hope you enjoyed.